Hi, Sean Huxter here. Welcome to Magical Little Worlds with me. So today I'm away home from work. I thought I'd pop into a Walmart that I rarely visit, just because I have been wondering, I've been kind of looking for the Minions Polly Pocket set, and I know that I've seen those at Walmart, but not recently. I have seen the Monster High recently. I've seen restocks of the Care Bear. I've seen restocks of the Trolls and a couple of others, so I thought I'd just pop in and see. And as per usual, at least in the last couple of weeks, they did have the ring sets. So they've been selling the ring sets as individual compacts for a while now, but just two of the three. If you want the third, the Mermaid, you have to, right now at least, you have to buy the three set, which I did. That's the Heritage, the Keepsake collection. So I went in to check, and sure enough, they had these rings. They had the Water Lily, which is great. And then they had the UFO. And the UFO they had in both variants, the orange UFO and the lavender UFO. And they also had the other sets like the seahorse with the little baby seahorse, and the hedgehog with the baby hedgehog, and the sloth with the baby sloth. These are $25 sets that have two compacts, one big one and one small one. They both open up and then they connect in certain ways. And I'm not really overly interested in those. And I'm not interested in the cute little animals with the headgear, but they had those as well. They also had the Barbie house, which I'm not that interested in. As I was about to leave, I saw a package, a smaller package, and I thought it was one of the ring compacts. It was actually laid across the top of the other sets that I just talked about, as if somebody had picked it up, decided not to buy it, and put it back, shoved it in on top of them. And just out of curiosity, and I almost walked away, but out of curiosity, I found this. And this is the Cutie Bear Picnic, which is a sandwich, which is cute. I've seen this reviewed, and it has a twin, which is the juice box. And this didn't have a price on it. The back was kind of off, which is, if you've seen my videos recently, you will know. I'm going to zoom out just a little. You'll know that often the 2020s era Polly Pocket sets, the backs come off really easily. And so there was no price on this, if you notice. There's no price on it anywhere. And I just took it to the scanner. And I said, well, I wonder how much this is. Because I have never seen this or its twin on shelves. And there's the twin there. I've never seen them actually on shelves. I've seen reviews of them. And I wasn't really going to pick them up, because, you know, they're picnics, that sort of thing. I'm more interested in the more adventure type sets. But I just thought I would scan it anyway. And it came up at $4. $4. And I said, well, yoink. I picked it up really fast. Now, what I noticed is that this is a really small set. I was quite surprised. This is actually more the size of some of the smaller original vintage compacts. A little bit different shaped, obviously. It's got the ears, but the square here is about the size of a vintage square Polly Pocket compact. And so I was about to leave. I scoured that shelf, and I could not find another one. Nothing like it. And so I said, you know, just for fun, I'll go check the clearance section, because I always check the clearance section. And what did I find? The other one. $4. Not only that, but I found another one and another one. $4. But also I found this one, $4, wrapped up kind of roughly. And so tonight I'm opening this one because I don't care about the packaging. And I imagine it's wrapped because the backs come off really easily, as we've already shown. I clear all this away, and I'm going to keep them handy because I'm opening two of these tonight. I'm going to open one of the juice box, and I'm going to open the sandwich. Now, I do need some help to open this, because this is like plastic wrap. I don't know if it's tape. Is it tape? It might be tape. But I did check. I don't think there's anything missing here. Just to be absolutely sure, let's do a comparison of the parts. So we have a Polly, we have a bear, we have a butterfly, a picnic basket, a water bucket, a little castle, flowers, vending booth, and orange drinks. Does not appear to be anything missing. And I didn't suspect so. I think the only reason it was wrapped is because the back was totally off on this thing. So let's start. Let's open it up. Slice all the way up. Oh! Now, if you watch my videos, you will know every time, just about, I drop something on the floor. Usually it's not something this substantial, however. So let's get this out of here. And what do we do with packaging? Now, the The packaging does have on it, however, instructions on how to put the compact together, because this is one of these that came out in the last few years that you have to put together yourself. And there's two ways to go about that often. Oh, this one's even got the hinge like so, in three separate pieces. Often you just snap the hinge in, but there's a couple, including, I think, the Monster High one, where you have to actually push the pin in yourself. So to do this, you close the box is the best way, I think. And then just checking, yeah, so there's a little deeper divot on this side than that side. And so this is where the pin, the larger part of the pin goes. And you just slide that in like so, and you go snap, and it's done. That's all you had to do. Now you'll notice it's pretty small. I was a bit surprised how small this is. I've seen reviews of this, and it appeared bigger to me at the time, but also not as thick. But anyway, so this is a teddy bear sandwich, clearly. And the package says it is the Cutie Bear Picnic. So it is a picnic set, and yes, I'm not overly interested in picnic sets usually, but at this price I had to pick it up, and I do kind of like them anyway. Anytime I can open up and see a magical world within, I'm happy. So let's open it up. Now I think so a lot of the clasps usually point with the arrow down, and you have to like lift it from the top, but this one is upside down in my opinion, and you lift it up, and now you've got the inside. This is also a slightly unusual one because this is one of the few sets that's meant to be played with flat packaging. And even though the sunglasses don't let it sit perfectly flat, it's meant to be flat. So the set it's got your Polly Pocket logo on the back and some flowers, and the indication that it was made in 2023. All of these sets tonight are made in 2023. This was, like I said, made as a pair of two. So opening up, we have what's the lettuce of the sandwich is trees, which I think is very clever. And then there's a swing in the trees. What do we got here? We have like a water fountain, but it doesn't turn or anything. That's the kind of thing you just do for fun, right? Just because you want to turn it. You kind of instinctively just want to turn this thing. Even if it does nothing, having it turn is fine. I love it. So you got a picnic basket here, a couple of pegs for characters and accessories, a road, grass, and I do like this grass here. In the old days, in vintage days, they would have painted this, and in some of the more expensive sets, they would have painted these flowers. And I kind of wish they'd stick to that. Oh well. I mean, I understand it costs more, but still. And then you got this up here. There's horizontal pegs here for some decorations, because we always get some kind of decorations. And like I said, a swing with the heart logo inside. And then on the other side, we have the turnaround merry-go-round. Now, when my daughter was young, and one of the reasons I love Polly Pocket in general is that I used to play with her and buy her Polly Pocket sets, and she had the dolls and some of the compacts. I recently bought her the Fairy Light Wonderland set because she had it as a kid. And she texted me one day and said, "Dad, look," and she showed me a picture of it. She said, "I had this one. I didn't remember her having that one. I remember smaller ones, but this was big." And she said, "This goes for like $200 to $400 on eBay." So I jump onto eBay and I find it for about $60 with two of the figures, and two of the figures have their original wings. And then I bought the other figure pretty cheaply, separately, and I gave it to her the other day, and she was delighted. She said, "I'm going to treasure this." But the reason I brought my daughter up is because when my daughter was little, I used to swing her on these things, and I would spin her so fast, and she would just go faster, faster. I honestly thought, and especially the swinging tire swings, if I could hook it up to a drill and just jam it up, it would not satisfy her. She still wanted to go faster. In fact, one time she was on the tire swing. I was spinning her like crazy, like really fast. And these two other kids wanted to play, so I slowed it down. They got on, and then I started just spin it very slowly. And before I even got started, they were like, "I'm feeling sick, let me off." I hadn't even gotten started yet. And when they got off, I spun Charlotte so like this, as fast as I could. And she could not get enough, but she loved it. Anyway, this was what this reminded me of. So this is your typical little, push merry-go-round that you see in parks. Then you got flower decorations and I guess a sandbox, because I see a shovel here and some areas. There's oh yeah. So we had a little sneak preview of some of the accessories, and I know what goes there, and I think you do too if you were paying attention. I will get to that now. So let us go to the accessories. Now, here we have one of the Polly Pocket characters. I do not know the characters very well. She definitely has what almost looks like a bit of a bouffant hairdo, kind of really out on the forehead there, and she is wearing a a teddy bear shirt. Boo! So I notice, it seems to me, and I highlighted this in another video, that this is a new printing process because it's very grainy, but it's also detailed, but still very grainy, and you can see it in her face and her lips. I think this is like a new inkjet kind of, a projection inkjet printing system, because it will print on contours, which is very hard to do as a stamp or a tampo. So I'm not quite sure what the process is, but it's being used a lot. Anytime you see one of these and the print is grainy, they have used this new process. And it's not 100% perfect yet, because if it was, you wouldn't see all this grain. But anyway, you really have to get close to see that. Anyway, so that's Polly, or a Polly, you know, a character, a Polly character. What else do we have? Well, let's see. Let's start with the big to the small. So we'll go to the vending booth. And this is a typical vending booth you see in some other sets. This does come down. I don't know why. And it goes down, but it is a vending booth, and you can see it's got lemonade or some sort of drinks here, I would imagine. Yeah, so it's a lemon here. This is definitely a lemonade jug and lemonade. And it's half molded, sort of. Not that great. Anyway, looks pretty cheap, to be honest. The colors aren't very good. And then you've got this, what looks to be a bit of a flower bed. Fine. Again, vintage would have painted this. Again, vintage probably wouldn't have had these accessories. Then you've got, this is the thing I was talking about earlier, a sandcastle. And we'll put that down for a second. Then we've got the little tray of 2 orange drinks. Now, see, if it was lemonade, you'd think that would be yellow. But they definitely, they were definitely showing that this is orange as well. So maybe they sell lemonade and orangeade, or orange juice. Then we've got a water, almost dropped it again, a watering can for the flowers. And a picnic basket. I've seen this before in one of the smaller compacts, one of the Locket compacts, and it opens up to reveal, as I said earlier, some nondescript food and fruit and stuff, and it closes, but yeah, anyway, it's very small. And then you got a butterfly decoration and a teddy bear, and that will be the teddy bear's Cutie Bear Picnic. And packaging, right. So, not to get too much more into this, because I'm going to open the other one. Polly can stand on here and spin around. The sandcastle can go on any peg, but it's obviously meant to go in the sandbox right here. And it's got a slightly different yellow than the sand, which is kind of nice. Then you've got the vending booth, which I'm pretty sure must go over here, because it's the only place that has 2 pegs that I think are perfectly spaced for it. And I might be wrong on that. No, it is. It's meant to go here. And then, of course, the picnic basket you can put anywhere. The watering can anywhere. The flowers are probably meant to go here. And, I mean, when you provide pegs and you can place things anywhere, it seems a bit weird to have a space that they're supposed to go. It should be given multiple options so you can decide for yourself. But in this case, you didn't. So anyway, without getting into too much more detail, I'm just going to pop the other accessories in. Try to close the compact. I think this is maybe why this folds down, so that it can be closed. Let's fold Polly over so that she can... Let's see if this whole thing closes now. No, it doesn't, of course. If I pull this out, though, and place it here, pretty sure it'll close now. Something's blocking it, and of course it's this. So let's place this like right here, maybe. No, something is blocking. Oh, you know what? The flowers. The flowers is blocking it. I do find that it kind of breaks, in my opinion, breaks the Polly Pocket rules when you can't close a compact with all of the things that it came with, but this does eventually close if you can figure out the layout. Okay, that's this one. Put it aside, and this kind of reminds me of the takeaways, the takeaway reveals, the food compacts, because this is food. Now inside is not a restaurant like the hideaways, but of the takeaways, but it is kind of reminiscent. So, the other one, let's open this. And this one, oddly, has a really strongly glued back, so that's kind of cool. Again, $4, guys. Again, almost dropped it to the floor. Package. Let's drop this down. Get this out of here. Packaging. Packaging. Bunny Carnival Compact. So let's remember this is Bunny Carnival. All right. Let's do what we did before. We pull the compact out. Oh, he's in there a little more tightly than the other one. And we take the hinge pin. And oh, look, again, like before, comes apart in 3 pieces. But, you know, luckily it clamps together pretty well. And you find the large hole, this one, and you put the hinge pin in and you click it in place. And this one has 2 clasps, one on either side. And they are aimed downward like they should be, so that the compact opens up. So again, these are definitely, you know, as you can see, a pair. They've got the same motifs here. They've got sunglasses each. This is a cute bunny. This is a cute bear. This one's got, instead of like lettuce stuck out around the outside, it's got what looks like a bit of a, I mean, almost I want to say ice cream, but it's not, because it's clearly a juice box. Or is it an ice cream float? I'm not really sure. Maybe it's an ice cream float, because that would explain the straw and the foam that they kind of have going back there. Anyway, let's open it up and see what's inside. We had a little sneak peek there a moment ago, but so inside we have this, which is definitely an ice cream cone or a muffin or something with icing on the top. Well, given that there's a straw, this is totally a float, I think. This is totally some sort of like a strawberry float. And it's got circus horses. It's a merry-go-round, so you've got circus horses with their poles. And on the other side, you've got, they've decided to add some paint. Now, that's good. I wish they'd done both sides, but it doesn't matter. I like this. And then you've got an actual horse here that you can clip a poly to. And actually, as the merry-go-round goes around, which it doesn't really, the horse can go up and down like it would if you were actually riding a merry-go-round. Without getting too much more on this side, because I think that's the cute side. What we have over here is as a performance stage. So we've got a microphone dropped here. You've got flowers here. Now this is very reminiscent of the ballerina set, which I'm converting into a Phantom of the Opera set. There's a stage, and then there are flowers on the stage. And I'm sure that's not the only Polly Pocket one that has a stage with flowers on it. Stairs going up to the stage, a walkway. Looks like almost like playbills. Posters for shows, and then you got a table here. I wonder, does the table come off? This table is often seen in the sets, but it's removable. This one is not, by the way. Don't try. Whew. Now, the fun part, I think, is over here, because over here you've got the rest of the picnic ground, or the parade, the circus ground, and this is bumper cars. That is really cute. I mean, often you see a track with a little hole for a poly to stand, or there's a dog or some sort of animal, but this is 2 of them. So you can actually play bumper cars, which is really cute. And I don't know if they turn. They turn a little bit, so that's kind of cute. And you can put a poly in each. And since this only comes with 1 poly, I think, you get the 2 sets. You have 2 polys. All right, let's talk about the interior. So you've got this little bumper car track with, looks like, padded area around the outside like you would get in a bumper car. And then you got this green grass again with flowers and details. And here you don't have that. You have a sticker, or actually a piece of cardboard, that fills in the details for you here, and the blue stage. Now let's look at our accessories. So starting again with the big, we have another vending cart. This vending cart looks to be maybe popcorn. I mean, you would think, right? Or maybe cotton candy or something. It doesn't actually say, and it doesn't have anything there, but you do have the cash register. Does there detail in the back? A little. Okay, that's cool. Let's pop that to the side for a moment. Now I wonder what they're selling. Let's go. Oh, so here we have an accessory that's taped in. Sometimes the smaller accessories are taped in. Oddly, they weren't taped in the previous one, but this one is. So you have a guitar here. So clearly an electric guitar. Polly is going to be on stage playing this electric guitar. That's kind of cool. Putting that here. And then we'll go pull the, I'm just going to cut down, hopefully all the way down the tape here. And then we've got this little, I didn't cut the tape quite enough, I think. This is an ice cream cone, clearly, because you get the waffling on the bottom. I don't think it's, like, this could be a muffin or whatever, but I definitely think it's an ice cream cone because you got the waffling in the cone there. And that's fine. That goes here. And then you've got, oh, look, grape juice, grape aid. It's exactly the same accessory. And I find that a lot of modern Polly Pocket sets are reusing accessories. Oh, boy, tough to get out. So this is the same exact piece. It's just printed in purple. I wonder if it's the same, though, because that doesn't look like orange slices. Yeah, I guess it could be. It might be the same. I think it probably is. And then, moving on, you have this little cup here, which, now this, I think, is where we get the root beer, or the float. This is definitely a cup with ice cream flowing over it. This is a float. So I think this is what we're trying to indicate with this whole compact, that it's a float. a soda float, you know. And then you got a blue teddy bear. Seen this one many times. I've seen this one in the advent calendars. It comes in, I think one of them came with one of the smaller compacts. This thing you see quite a lot in white. I've seen it in purple. I've seen it in many different colors. And so, you know, reuse. Reuse is fine. I don't mind reuse if it's done well. And this is a white bunny, and this one's got little nose and eyes painted, so that's cool. Little flash there. And you've got, I'm doing that off camera, a balloon, a heart balloon, with a little hole so Polly can hold it with her hand. And then you've got the Polly character packaging. Then you get the Polly character. I love the ones that have oddly colored hair. The purple one's my favorite. So she's got the blue hair with, and this is all gel, so it bends. And she has got, I think that is a bunny with a Ferris wheel on the shirt. All of the Pollys, most of the Pollys anyway, in these modern sets, have something on the shirt that thematically fits the set, which is kind of clever for them, because if you ever want to put these things together, like shove them all into a toy box, as a kid is wont to do, and eventually you want to put it all back together again, you know which Polly goes with which set by what she's wearing, which I think is very nice. So, without placing them and everything, I mean, you know, you can place the cart, no pegs on the cart, so the cart can just float around anywhere you want. Let's see if they'll all fit in now. I'm not going to bother putting everything everywhere. I mean, Polly can, let's place Polly just in here on the horse, and so she can ride up and down, because I don't think if we do this that she's going to prevent the case from closing. So let's put the guitar. It does fit around her, by the way. I've seen this one before somewhere. The balloon, the bunnies. Now, I think this one might all fit in one side. Actually, she is going to cause trouble. Now, I wonder. I think that'll just close. And if I move that vending cart to the other side and hide it underneath the flap, it'll be fine. So there you go. 2 compacts I thought I would never have, because it's not my favorite theme, but at $4 each. $4, how can you not? But what's interesting is a little recently I did a video of the Trolls set. And as a bonus, in the same clearance aisle, here was Trolls for $5. I'm not going to bother reviewing this. Just go back a couple videos, you can see it yourself. Not a big Trolls fan, but it's still a really cool set because it's very quirky and kind of very Dr. Seussian in the way it's designed. So anyway, do yourself a favor, go back and watch that one. It's really worth it. Okay, so for me, Sean Huckster, let me put these scissors away. Welcome to Magical Little Worlds. And I hope you enjoyed this. You should check your Walmarts just in case. And by the way, this is the last of April 2025. And these are 2023 sets. So good hunting. You may be watching this 3 years from now and this is not available. Who knows? You might be watching this 40 years from now. No idea. But anyway, if you're around a Walmart, just check them out. You never know. And I've never seen these in other Walmarts either. So I got very lucky. But you might too. All right, guys. Thank you.